Hey, greetings. It's Grandmaster you from Mombasa, Kenya. And I wanted to come on today real quick and just a few things about something that if you've lived all your life in the United States and you're a product of the regular news, you might not really get this perspective when you really think about comparing weather in the United States to weather in other parts of the country. Now, people always ask these people from Hebrew Israelites. They used to come out and I deal with them, and they would say that we were here in America before the white man, and of course, they could never show any established language, any established culture. No people, no buildings. To show that somewhere in the East Coast, blacks were, living and prospering. Now, there's a reason for that, and the reason is because of the weather. You see, the weather in the United States it's like one of the worst places in the planet for weather on our homes. I mean, Europe has its cold weather, and it has terrible uh, weather up in Britain. They even make jokes about it. It's like you can, rain, hail, snow, sleet. These things are common. The people just live with it. I mean, the way they do their culture is just around the fact that the weather is going to be terrible. People in Denmark, Norway, Russia, they're just like that's what it is. But then what they talk about on the weather on Weather Channel, and I hear Brian Allen now owns the Weather Channel, brother, and when Byron Allen was talking about purchasing the Weather Channel, he was talking about how it was a good money maker and all this and that. It had a long history, and it's true because in the United States, you got a better chance in a lot of cases, depending on where you are located, to be injured or severely affected by a harsh weather phenomenon than you do getting shot by the police by far. I mean, let's face it. I'm here in Africa now. There's no such thing as bad weather. I can just say like that. I mean, you come here and there might be a really hard, rainy day one day, and for some few hours, and then people in the country is like, oh my God, it's raining too much. There could be some weather that gets down to like 60 degrees, like wearing clothes, wearing hats, like they freezing. Now I'm from California, and 60-degree weather is just normal, especially in the morning when you wake up. It's gonna be cold. But that's not here in Africa. You don't have like wake up and there's frost on the ground. There's nothing like that in Kenya where we live on the equator. You see, but I'm submitting to you that there are really manipulating our minds not to take the I gotta say the word, the fucked up weather that the United States has. I mean that if you're in the East Coast, you know what I mean. I mean you're just looking like that's normal, but that's only up in the United States, brother. When you go down, weather is great, and you damn sure don't have hurricanes, floods, lightning strikes. More people die in lightning strikes in some areas. They die in car crashes, and that's rare. But 50 something people died in lightning strikes last year in 2018. And We don't, they don't make a big deal of it, but these things are serious. You be walking down the street and then lightning just get you. You're at home relaxing, and then all of a sudden the radio come on. You gotta evacuate your house. A force 5 hurricane is coming. You've got to board up your house, leave, go somewhere inland, and then stay at a hotel for like 2 days or 3 days, and then drive back to your house and see what's left. And in many cases, houses are ripped off the ground, roofs are ripped off, and And so what do? It's your house. You got a mortgage. You bought it. You might have some insurance, but damn, that don't take away. That don't how you can rebuild, but damn, who's to say like next week another one won't come? You see. So all through is Florida and up on the East Coast. There are a lot of places where they just decided that that's just left like that. We won't build there because you get like 2 or 3 hurricanes, and you can get like in Florida they get 66 on average, 66 hurricanes a year. Texas 155. Hello, how are you, Louis? And that name is not Haman. It is Amen, like you said, end of your prayer. Boom. Yeah. So I just want to talk about the black people because these black people talk about I'm in America. America is my home. Shit, man. In your real home, in the motherland, you don't have this kind of ridiculous stuff going on in the houses. All through the United States, basically houses have to have heaters. Now here in Kenya, the houses don't have heaters. Where I live in the tropic side, we don't even have glass window panes on our windows. Can you understand what I'm telling you? All year long, it's a screen, it's 2 screens, that's it. And then there's you in the house, So, and I've never had a problem where, okay, I got a curtain, I can close the curtain if I don't want the sunlight to get in, or if it gets a bit cold, my wife would be there talking, oh, just close the curtain, But normally I sleep without clothes and just lay on the bed without a sheet or a blanket. But I'm in Mombasa, this is a tropical end. In Nairobi, it's a little bit more colder, but it ain't like come from the US and then talk about listen to what these people tell you this is cold. You're laughing. It's not that cold in the United States. I mean, it's not that cold it doesn't get that cold in Africa. The weather is beautiful all year round. And you damn sure don't have major harsh weather phenomena like floods, earthquakes, hurricane, lightning, storms. This is another thing. America has these things called storms. And they're just frequent. They're so frequent that they don't even really talk about it. But a lot of people die in storms. When you talk about, when I was doing the research for this video, I was looking up the harsh weather. They didn't even mention storms. They didn't even mention blizzards because there's so many of them. They don't even count them. So they count like hurricane, lightning, floods. Flood is the #1 killer. Of course, earthquakes are there. Now, earthquakes we've been lucky so far with earthquakes. I was in a similar earthquake, 7.2, and a lot of people died. And that's not a joke. Unlike any of these other weather phenomena, you get a warning. But in an earthquake, it's like boom. You know what I'm saying? If I was an older person in California and that thing hit the way the summer, let's say more earthquake hit. And then there was another earthquake. I'm old now. I forgot the name of where it was, but it was in the 1990s, and in the valley, in Los Angeles Valley. And I went out there to happen to be driving out in the valley a few days after the earthquake, and saw apartments where the whole first floor was gone. It just like, and then the whole building just went down and crushed the first floor, killed all the people, crushed all their cars, and killed all the people that was on the first floor. But the second floor looked like the first floor, so it's just like you walk out, you just like, oh, I thought I was on the second floor, but no, you're on the first floor. I thought I was on the first floor, but you're on the second floor, but that first floor is crushed. And then had apartments in the valley that was looking like that. Harsh, terrible, dangerous, and deadly weather in the United States. And when people start talking about uh, black people was in the United States before the white man, no, you weren't. You were not in the United States before the white man came. Nobody really was. Now, picture in your mind, they tell you the American Indian. Show depict Indians in the history, but where do they tell you they live? They live in skin teepees, isn't it? When you show you an Indian, what is it? They walking around, woo, are they in full clothes, or are they just in shorts and the legs are free? They bare chested, run around with a spear. Now, how the hell are they gonna be like that in the East Coast? How the hell are Indians gonna look like, dress like that, and live like that in the East Coast? Now, we're talking the 1500s. Before the white man came in, there was nothing like Indians in the East Coast. If the weather today can kill over 80 people in one hurricane in 2019, just imagine what it was doing to the people that was just pioneers coming into the territory back in the 1500s and 1600s. Nobody was living up on the East Coast. It was impossible. Now they're gonna show you some people saying, "Oh, they had beautiful cities and modern," but this was in South America. This was not the United States area where Indians had Columbus went in there and wiped out their civilizations, killed all the people, and murdered them. That was in the South. But and see, when the British was trying to find a way to move into the new land, when they tried to go into South America, the Spanish shot them on sight. So they had to go up, and try to find some place where the Spaniards weren't going. And the Spaniards had already conquered, saw that terrible weather, and they moved down to the south. But when you get up to Florida, no, you ain't gonna stay there. Imagine you got a ship, you land in Florida, it's all beautiful. Oh, we made it. Yes, let's start putting up our houses. Let's start living. Oh, that's coconuts. Yeah, and then here come hurricane, I got your ass. And hurricane, I got your ass wiped out their little bit of homeland in a matter of minutes. They didn't have no early warning system. They're just looking out there. What's that? Oh, it's coming this way. Ooh, the wind's getting risky. Let's go in the tent. And then whammo, they get you. That weather is be killing you. So I don't think that we should just take it lightly when we say Africa is better than the United States for black people. You got a homeland where none of this happens. Imagine a place where it's sunny all the time, all year round. You don't have no kind of need for early warning system where floods and tornadoes and things like that are going to happen. Imagine you just wake up every day, like today, by the way. Today, I sent my employees home early because I was walking outside and I looked like, God damn, the day was so beautiful. I was like, it's 2 o'clock. You guys, look at this beautiful day. Man, look at these young people looking at me like, what's that? What you talking about? Go outside and look. Beautiful. Just a few little small clouds outside and blue sky, sun, perfect weather today in Mombasa. They don't appreciate it, but I'm older. I can appreciate that. Now I was in Los Angeles and we have cold weather, rain, snow, not even some hail every once in a while, snow always in the mountains, and in California it's earthquakes. When you go move down to towards into in the Midwest where Kansas and Texas, you start talking about flooding that will shock your mind. Rivers overflowing their banks. You don't have flooding without lots of rain. So that's a storm. So you get the storm getting you, then you get the flood. Imagine. And many people die, get killed in floods. Get trapped in their car. They think that stream ain't that deep. and then whoosh, down the road, down the river they go. Hmm? So I'm talking to black people that are in the United States, and you might, if you're on this channel, we were talking about, you checking out Africa, get an African plan, and then one of the things I wanted you to think about is how harsh the weather is. Wherever you are, I don't have a heater in my house. I don't have gas heater to heat my house. I don't have electric heater to heat my house. I don't have a heater. You know what I'm saying? And you can live very comfortably if you, especially if you're coming from the East Coast. Now, some blacks I know they come and they talk about, I love that one. I love it. You understand what I'm saying? That just sounds like a Negro that know they ain't gonna leave, and then they gonna make that effort to say that I like the snow. You know how many people that like the snow die, freeze to death in their house when the gas go off, or they can't afford to pay gas in their house? Hmm? You know how that feels to be somewhere, walk out of bed, get out of bed, and when that cold ass wind hit you in the morning, you got them warm covers. Wow. You know what I'm saying? You know how it take a little minute for the shower to warm up? And you just be standing there naked waiting for the hot water to heat up. Sometimes it don't ever heat up, and then you be like, damn, nothing like that in Africa. So I wanted to come on and then just kind of touch on this point, this issue about the weather. And one of the weather phenomena they don't talk about is blizzards. Now blizzards come all the time. They snow. It starts snowing, then it starts winding, and then it becomes like ridiculous. California, Chicago had some really serious blizzards with that cold wind coming off the lake. They talk about it. And you ain't seen freezing until you've been near Chicago. I was driving around the area of Chicago, Michigan, and shoot, I got a brisk of it, and that was like, never again. And you could be somewhere where it snows, and then you might forget and have the wrong type of shoes on, and you might end up having to walk in that snow, and you get your feet frozen, and even get frostbite. But there are a lot of black people who are had to move. White people, okay, they really can protect themselves. They might have extra income to get insurance to cover their losses, or they have, for every dollar we have, I think they got $100, so they can really survive those things. But for a struggling black, especially nowadays, if your house is damaged, or your general area is hit by one of these weather phenomena, it can really affect you. You might have a house and it's okay, but there was a fourth level hurricane that went out and wiped out some areas in the area, maybe including some businesses or even a supermarket. And that brings your property value down right there, you see? And a lot of blacks are just like, you find a cheap home somewhere, and then you don't realize that shit is in a tornado zone. And then, you stand on your porch one day, and then there comes the twister. And there go your house. Whoosh, you're standing on your porch, Toto, help me, that kind of thing. This is, like I said, something that they do not put an emphasis on in the United States. Who wants to talk? You live in that, you're supposed to be pro-U.S. Why are you gonna talk about the poor, messed up weather? You won't. You're gonna listen to that thing every day. By the time they finish with the sports on the news here in Kenya, most people turn it off. They don't even watch what the weather gonna tell me. He's gonna tell me about weather in other areas, and then he's not gonna say, "Thank God we're in Kenya." He's gonna talk about it. But you should really see the point of the importance of having a place where there's weather. You're gonna have more productivity. You're gonna have better food products. And so many things. Now, thank God for the refrigerated trucks that were created by a black man in America, because it allowed the transfer of agricultural products to other areas that really needed them. So you can get apples, oranges, and fruits and stuff like that coming from, let's say, Kansas, and it can go all the way to Nevada and be sold there. or Dakota. So this is what goes on, and it brings up it raises the price of the food, of course, and then there we have it, you know. But in Africa, food is fresh. Most of them just pick like 2 days before, transferred in the open air trucks. Boom, gets to the market. Boom, sold and ate in the next few days. So in Kenya, I mean, where I'm at, they have a Kongwea market. It's one of the largest markets on the East Coast. It's an open air market. Maybe it's rain once in a while, but that's good. It helps keep the place clean. But you ain't gonna have nothing where you gotta put all the food in a warehouse and because it's gonna freeze. That don't happen. And that's why I'm trying to explain to people, when you come to Africa, people come to Africa and they go, I had a wonderful time. They forget the fact that the reason why you had a wonderful time is because during your 2 week stay, it didn't rain, it didn't storm, how many people go to the United States like for vacation and then they get caught up into it's a weather phenomenon. People talk about let's go spend Christmas in New York. And they fly out to New York and they get out the airport and it's like, wham, that cold weather hit them and they be like, damn, I forgot to even bring a coat. How many Africans I know went to the United States and they didn't take a coat? And then they get there, they be like shocked. I got a brother that went to Michigan and I'm laughing at him all the time. He's there like, man, I didn't know it was gonna be like this, but I got a job shoveling snow. Damn. But to talk about weather in Africa, for your health, especially, for your kids, especially with your kids, your kids will be here. You don't have to worry about them missing any school or, because this just adds another word to you when you're in the U.S. that on a bad weather day, your kids could be away from the house and, anything can happen. Your health is a lot better. You get less colds, less sneezing, less complications to your health, especially as you get older. So I always appeal to the senior brothers like myself who are on pension or who are have a small disability or or just on Social Security money in general. Transfer that shit into African money and you live twice as better as you were in the United States, on top of the fact that you're going to have great weather all year round. So that's why I wanted to come on today in the light of the hurricane in Florida. I'm sorry for a lot of people who some people lost their lives, I understand, and a lot of people were displaced. A lot of people's homes were damaged. Some of those homes were damaged beyond repair. And even when I was in California, I used to look at these things happening in the news, and like I would do like that. My mom used to talk me that. She used to be watching me, and then she go on about her daily routine. And then my mother, the same one when the earthquake hit, she bouncing in the hallway. I remember my bedroom door is opening, and I see my mom bouncing from one side of the hallway trying to get to me. My baby, my baby. I never forget that. I was like, she got another kid? Why don't you calling them baby? And my mother was very tough. You know what I mean? So she had never called me baby, but on the earthquake day, I really realized that she loved me because she was really fighting to get me. And when she got to my door, the door just slammed, boom, and it refused to open. So we both had to because the house shifted during the 1972 Seymour earthquake. Now, any earthquake can come right now. I mean, we could be standing here right now, boom, and the earthquake hit in California and ruined thousands of people's lives. You got an earthquake in Haiti that over 300,000 people lost their lives at the beginning of the quake. And then after the quake, you know how many lives were affected. So, California and Nevada, they're earthquake prone, and everybody says it's going to be a serious earthquake one day. And, because you're in America, you just feel like that's where I got to be. I'm going to take my chances. But you're taking your chance. You raise your kids in that same place, you take a chance on them. And if it's in 3 generations, there's going to be a major earthquake. People are going to lose their lives. There was an earthquake in, I don't know, 90 something. And I was an apartment manager, and the apartment building had got condemned because of the earthquake made the foundation wrong, and they had to close it. And so we got FEMA money to have free rent for a year. And 1 year to the day they cut that crap off too. But That's what they do. That's what America does, and a lot of money is spent on relocating people and making sure that they don't complain about living in America. Because you be wondering, why people give all that free money away? Because you've been duped. You've been duped in believing that you're living in a great country. And one of the reasons why it's not a great country is because the weather is so bad all the time. And you can't even understand that until you go live in a place where the weather is not like that and it's just beautiful all day long. I mean, you know, I can count my blessings, you know, because every day my kids, I don't see my kids, I don't even know if my daughter's got a coat. I don't have a coat. I had a red coat, and I don't know what happened to it. I got a couple sweaters, and I go back and forth to Nairobi just like that. Now, granted, there are some small weather phenomena in Africa. There was a blizzard in South Africa, and they even told you it was very rare for the blizzard to come. And the elephants didn't know what to do. They was running around in you know in the park, like this, but it's rare. You get what I'm saying? So up when you move up like Zimbabwe, you go to Malawi, these places are always forever beautiful weather. Like Malawi, my goodness, if you go to Malawi, it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Then you go to the lake, wow, it's phenomenal. Green everywhere, not that many people in Malawi where it's really crowded. People are friendly and they're highly intelligent. I don't know, they're awesome because they really do good schooling. They really believe in education. But those people, those Lake people, really wonderful place. If you got big money and you want to really, if you don't like Kenya, I say the next step go to Malawi. And I mean the next country best to skip over Tanzania and go to Malawi. It's a small country and wonderful, wonderful people, very intelligent, and they love visitors in Malawi. Now I'm saying this today. Okay, once again, you guys are going to be seeing this late. Here we are, the paper you love not to look ignore. Now you're speeding up. Don't click that button. Don't leave. Just take a look at it for once. I'm going to tell you about a phenomenon here about the weather. You never really thought about it, but now you've thought about it. So if you want to do a super chat to the channel, this is what you do. If you don't want to do a super chat to the channel, it's okay, no problem. God bless you anyway. But the great thing with this channel, and just like I'm a guest on some other channels, and they get super chats, something amounting up to $200-300 some of the sometimes when I'm on the show, and and there's no super chat in Africa, and I don't know if they're gonna ever do that. So we had to come up with this ingenious plan. We tried a couple of ways, and we found that what's the best. WesternUnion.com was the best way to have apps you can put on your phone. Also, you want to send some money to support the channel. So I'm gonna end this video today, make it a short one, which I was just on yesterday, and just wanted to come on and talk about that issue about the weather, and we're supposed to have another show in a couple of days, but I'm really pressed because I'll be going to Nairobi over the weekend, hopefully. Everything's not set yet, and we'll be definitely want to do a show from Nairobi. So I've done a couple of clips from Nairobi showing how busy the place was, and for people that are coming to East Africa, Nairobi is just definitely got to go there. So again, I was talking with a buddy here, not a buddy, but another Black American who just arrived recently, and we were text messaging each other. He says I just need to tell him where to meet, and we will hook up. So I know you got a lot of good stories because he's also from California. I want to meet him. Now this happens on a regular basis. Somebody will come to Kenya. A brother will come to Kenya, and then they'll seek me out, or somebody will say, "I know another Black American," and then that they'll hook us up like that. And this is happening more and more as Black people come. Like I had said before, we don't run in packs in the United States. Blacks in the United States, we don't run in packs. We are individual creatures. I don't know if that's because of slavery or what. It's like somebody gonna slow me down when I'm trying to make my rounds. If the slave catchers come chasing us, you get shot. I don't want to have to worry about picking you up around and helping you. This is a mentality that comes from that, and so we end up, just striking out on our own. Now, I have no problem with that, except for the fact that too many brothers that come and try to do it on their own, they make mistakes that cost them a lot of money, a lot of time. They get hooked up with the wrong type of woman in Africa, and then wow, you think you know African women, but you get shocked. I was shocked. It's not about African women. It is about certain women who are trying to find a man, and then a better man, and then they figure I'm gonna get an American, and then my family's gonna be proud. I'm gonna look like society gonna really look up to me, and then they get you, and you okay at first, but then you're struggling, and there comes that point where the money becomes tight, and then she's looking at you like it's not what I thought you should be. Then they can kick you to the curb, and then you'd be like having to start all over again. But if you had somebody with experience, then you could ask them. I mean, like I said, you can ask me a few questions and I can give you the information. Even if you don't like it at first, you don't have to use it. But it has saved guys from a lot of misery when they come here. So, because a lot of brothers, they come, first thing they do, they go to the club, and then the first woman they meet, they fall in love with that woman, and that woman tells you a story in the club, telling you how she just, she's just a, she work at a hairdressing salon, and she's, her mom, and then, most of these women that are in the club are coming from broken homes. Obviously, the father and the mom didn't have the structure either. They were too poor to take care of them, or nobody's raised them properly. So they just get the right life from in the streets. And then you hook up with that chick, and she's beautiful, because they get beautiful. And then they wow you, and then they try to play the part, and they might be serious. They might be really serious about, okay, I got a good man now, I'm gonna hold on to this brother. Because maybe he might take me to the U.S. even though I'll pretend like I don't care about that. And a lot of us brothers that are coming from the U.S. trying to get away from the U.S., you'll get up with these sisters that these African women that will lock you in place, and a year, 2 years into the relationship, they telling you their true self. They want to go to the U.S. and they're out there, and there are a number of them. I think that if you got a good 40% chance of getting the right type of woman if you're going to meet them at the club. What happened? I'm talking to the brothers now. Now for the sisters, you free. You can come here, and I'm sure you find an African man, you love him, he will love you back. You get what I'm saying? So you really don't have that issue, and he ain't gonna, if you don't, you gotta realize that the man comes from his own country, and the African man tends to be authoritative, but that just lets the woman be in a certain place. Now, women have a lot of power in the household. The house runs around them. An African man won't deal with the house. He'll give it to you and say, "You do everything for the house. You'll be in charge of it." And that is the basic standard. So whether you get a house girl or whether you do it yourself as a female, you're going to get you're gonna find it relatively easy to live, and you come with African man, and then you think like the guy's kind of you live with somebody for 5 years or 6, 7 years. Like in my case, you live with a woman for 10 years. You come to know that person and understand him. And then there are times when you say he's too demanding, but then there's other times when that goddamn demanding really made you supported you, and you end up being glad you listened to him when he demanded that you do something. And then and this is the African way, and it's not the feminist way. So if you come in with a feminist attitude, I gotta do my own thing. My man ain't gonna take care of me, or what he gonna do? How? Where is he? He went out last night. Didn't come back. Didn't tell me how I dare him. You're gonna have trouble if you're even in the U.S. You're gonna have trouble with men. You're gonna have trouble with men in Africa as well. That you need to fix before you come and start getting a life with an African man. So that's what I'm saying for today. And again, I don't know why I'm doing this at the end of the show. This at the beginning of the show. In the comment section again, you can see this on the other videos. And I know a lot of people in the U.S. is at work, so they're going to see this video later. So we're saying we're really trying to see if anybody wants to give out some support. Let me know in the comment section if there's some problem with that. We already heard the story about I should do the PayPal, and I've never had a Visa or MasterCard in my life. And this is part of this is the way I live my life. We'll do this video on that if somebody ever asks me about it. So PayPal is like a stretch for me. We had this. We used this before last show. Richard sent out $6. That was really nice of him, and it's very simple. This one allows us to get a notification while I'm on the video, and then I can give you a shout out right away during the video. So I appreciate everybody that has come on and liked the channel. Oh, be a subscribe button. Where is my finger? A subscribe button should be here, I think, or is it over here? Yeah, one of these two. There's an S, and on that S, you click it, you can be a subscriber, and we find a lot of good content here, and the personalized content. Because if you come on the chat line while we're here, around this time is when we have our videos, then I can answer your questions directly online. So I try to do answer all the questions that come on the video, and this is one of the things I want. I'm not looking to have like a super large channel with 50,000 followers. I just want some good people here that we can now talk about things that we talk about in order to create that African plan. So when the United States fails, you will be able to be okay, because what the economists are saying is that you're not going to see it coming. It's just going to hit you. I think I can visit the team, modern Africa. And I was doing this. This is on Facebook. So I was doing this yesterday, and I was like, oh, where can we reach you? I'm always on Facebook, so that's where you can reach me. And thank you, Kweku. Kweku is your friend. Thank you, bro. I'm just trying to do this because many people are, I don't have that many people on the channel, but the majority of them are, really saying positive things about the channel, about the information that I'm giving. Because I didn't have none of this when I was, of course, that was 1996, and I just barely had an email back then. But we get bombarded by so much propaganda, lies, and things in the U.S. about Africa, and it's for a good reason. You got like the channels like mine, or like the bigger ones like Dynasty's show. They get a lot of people that come in there to try to say that Africa's not the best place, And I wonder, are they paid agents? Because I don't ever think about going to their channel, go to their ADOS channels and talking to them and saying, oh, Africa's the best place. You know what I mean? When I see that it's an ADOS group, or not ADOS, but when it's a group that's like pro United States, if you go over to the stock market and all that nonsense, I just leave it alone, because It's not really. It doesn't really. I don't feel like the need to go there and try to change people's minds. So people that come to this channel are probably going to be looking for something that's going to, help them get some information to have an alternative, and that is the best thing for me because the number one enemy of the black man is mass media, Western mass media, propaganda, news, entertainment, and sports. And I say it that way, as I've been saying it since 2015 for a reason. But you have to get away from that. Okay, I got it. I'm around black. Okay, thank you. I think Quake Cool Israel, you've been saying it for the longest time now. Yes. And so there are certain things that you can say, you can't say that enough. You know what I'm saying? But let me tell you something. I've made a lot of predictions in my life, and those predictions come true. I don't know what it is, but I can see things ahead of time. Like my business here with the CC Gate program. In 2011, before there even was a smartphone in Africa, I envisioned that students would be doing their revision and homework and education using the cell phone. And all the pieces came together to this day where it's all happening. The government even gave me a really great boost when they decided to give every primary school tablets. So this school I'm in got 100-some tablets, and we're going to be doing a lot of great things with those tablets. And we have been doing that. And you can go on Facebook and go to CC Gate, cc-gate, CC Gate, and you can see that channel where we're working with digitalizing the educational system in Kenya. This is great opportunities because they're open in Africa. They're not there. So if you black in America, you could come to Kenya and you could just be an okay programmer or okay IT guy. When you come to Africa, you're gonna be elevated because in America you see a lot more progress than what they're happening here on the ground now. Now they're going to accelerate quickly now that they starting to understand databases and things like that in Kenya. And the government has e-citizen channel, ecitizen.go.ke, and you can do all kind of things. You can even open up a business from the U.S. You can open up a business in Kenya from the website. So Africa is moving up quickly. That's why I say we need to get here before while we can still be relevant. Because if you come here and find your skills are obsolete or not needed, so definitely do that. They haven't shared that level of slave thinking as yet. Okay, the overwhelming majority of blacks were not conceiving of living anywhere. No, man. More people died on the Titanic than lived. So I want to explain to you. Let's not think about all of the people that will not come. Okay? Let's talk about the people that do come. The people that get a passport and get a plane ticket, somehow use their money and come for a visit to Africa. All you need is to visit. Once you get to visit, if you ain't touched by the visit, then okay, you're never gonna be touched. But overwhelming, not even overwhelming, all the people that come here in the U.S. for their first visit that I know, that I've met, they don't want to leave because you're moving away from the racism, which you just if you're only thinking of the propaganda has got you only believing in the United States and believing that the best position is in being in the United States. They spend billions of dollars to make you think like that. They spend billions of dollars to curb your mind away from the horrors of the harsh weather and the devastation that it causes and the many families that it destroys every year. And tell you watch football, watch basketball, and watch the soap operas, watch the reality shows. They come with all these distractions, and then, like I say in the news, they dictate what they want you to see as important. So you watch the news, and they come on, they tell you about a certain thing, and you think that's important. But really, it doesn't even affect you one way or the other. You're just wasting like 20 minutes of your time watching about something that happened in another country somewhere, or that the price of tomatoes went down, or this farmer had a beef with that farmer. This man had that problem, and two people were reunited after 90 years. You watch these kind of shows, and then but it doesn't affect you at all. Meanwhile, time is passing. You see, and you walk outside, and then you find that you go to work, and you find that there's a lot of stress at the job because you're black, and you're trying to make something of yourself. And that's where they get you. If you're just a okay, black that's gonna go sit and do the job, uh, at the least, you work at least as much as possible. Okay, they might love you because they know at the end of the day you do anything to keep that little job. But still like that. But someone like like myself, or if you're out there and you really want to try to make a difference in the world, you can't. I can't help but go to a job, work on the job, and then find better ways to do the things on the job. So what do I have to do? I have to go take that to my supervisor and say, look, we're doing this, we're doing this. We cut out step 2 and 3, and save a lot of time. So I go out and I present it to them, they look at me like, oh, okay. And then they either won't say nothing about it for about a month or two, and then they'll end up implementing. Somebody else will come up with and say that they were the ones who implemented. I mean, that happened to me the time when I was working in corporate America. I worked in corporate America for 15 years, and I was dumb. I was dumb, and when I was in corporate America, coming up with all these ideas, I wasn't black conscious at first, you see, but when I became black conscious, all that changed. When I could walk in the office and my name is Amirah, they was like, whoa, who's this guy? You see what I'm saying? And there began the issue of, he got to go. But who, so if you're like me and, you want to be recognized, for being a person who is, trying to make a difference and then do whichever way. And you see that you get a lot of resistance. Or you're there and then you get accused so much that you have to learn how to watch your back all the time. You see what I'm saying? And then you got Negroes next to you that is trying to help get rid of you. If you get these kind of problems on your job, if you see your job as like a dead end job, then that's what I'm saying. You need to now get an African plan and at least make you feel better. You'll feel a lot better knowing that it's there. Because when they hit you with all these messed up circumstances in your life, that African plan now will pop back into your head. Because the brain is going to tell you what can you do, nothing you can do. And then you realize the brain will tell you, oh, wait a minute, you got an African plan sitting over there in a file that you've just been leaving there. Let's go open that up and look at it again. Let me see. Oh, Malawi. Yeah. You did some research on that. And then you start thinking about it, and then the brain starts working on it. And then if you, like me, you'll be touched in your sleep. When you wake up, you just be feeling like, I got to get out of here. When things start happening, you feel like, it's only a matter of time for I'm out, you see. And that's a beautiful feeling right there. If you got a boss, I'm coming, hopefully I should be able to repatriate in about a year. I'm getting this all the time because you feel it when I'm talking about it. Now imagine if I wasn't here to talk about it. You'd just be watching some sports somewhere, or it'd be nobody to support you for even if you had this issue. And then who would be giving you the right information? You know what I'm saying? One thing about me is that I'm gonna tell it straight. I'm gonna tell it straight every time, without fear or favor. If it's bad, it's bad. You know what I mean? Now moving to Africa, that it's going to be a challenge. But moving even to another state is a challenge. You know what I'm saying? So you got an apartment, you got an apartment online. You go see the apartment. It's a nice apartment and everything, but goddamn, the nearest supermarket is driving distance. So you can't even walk to the supermarket. So anytime you want to go get some food or something like that, you got to drive, and then your car is acting up on you. So you just like almost hungry because you got it's far for you to get the things that you need to get on a regular basis if your car breaks down. How many of us have had that happen to us? You get what I'm saying? So that's a challenge. And you come to Africa and you say, okay, I want to get a place. I want to get a place that over here. I heard this place is great, and I'll be like, no, brother, you don't want that place. You could afford it today, but until you get yourself situated, look, there's a nice place right here. Walk out your door, 20 steps to the right is a duka, is a store where you buy all the things you need, so you don't have to waste no money on extra money on transport because that shit adds up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you're in a good proximity. The people are good here. I'm gonna show you where you can get people that you can start to know that's around you, and boom, before you know it, I don't even hear from you anymore. You are all taken care of. So that's what this channel is about, and what we want to give out some of that kind of advice. So when you want to say that you want to come in about a year, get your passport, but you gotta realize that the main obstacle is your mind. America is working on you. When you get off this, when you turn off this video, they're going to be things that are going to talk to you about nonsense, as opposed to continually giving you information and updating you on what is going on around you that you may not see. See, a lot of people get caught up like in the stock market thing, and then they kill themselves. America has so many suicides because people didn't know, and then they get caught. You see, then they kill themselves as an alternative. We don't see that because they don't put all that stuff on the news. You know what I'm saying? So the America is number one. It's number one in military arms. What do you say commercial on that? What do you show like reality show from the barracks and showing you where all of these people that work for the job for the military, where they show you about all the bases in that America owns all around the world. See, they don't put that in the normal area of talking in the media. You know what I'm saying? But now, the government of the United States, every 1 in 4 people, the government is employing. Where are the people at? Some places what? It's like that. Hmm? And those other 3 people, they might be wishing they could work for the government, or because of some circumstances now they can't do it. Maybe they went to prison or whatever, and then they got a small record, and the government won't give them a decent job. But what I've been told here is that 11 states in America today have more people on welfare than don't have people on welfare. 11 states. I haven't really done the full research on this, but I'm looking forward to seeing it and see if this is really true. And we're going down a slippery slope. If you go to my Black Man's Guide to Understanding Black Man's Guide, not to Understanding Black Woman, Black Man's Guide to Moving to Modern Africa, you'll see there's some very good articles that just came out talking about the situation in the United States. In fact, I posted one. You go there, you'll see one from 2013, where this Jeff Berwick tells you run as far as you can from America, because in the next 4 in 2019, and it's really becoming true. So that's what I'm saying. And let me see the last one here. Sure, Ruth, how are you? Long time. America starts working on our psyche from the womb. Yeah, and you sometimes you just gotta say, I'm gonna go, and I'm not gonna let anything stop me. And as you're trying to get to the airport, you find the taxi got a flat tire, or the traffic jam is gonna make you miss your flight. And, you get up there, it's a Boeing 737 Max jet that they just want to try for the first time. You'll be like, oh no. You see, but you just got to do it. When I was leaving, it was like I had to just keep my body moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Keep my body moving forward. And I remember that day I wanted to get 4 hamburgers before I got on the plane. So I went to I don't know if it was a Wendy's or where, and I bought these 4 hamburgers, and I told the lady at the window, "These are my last hamburgers. I'm going to Africa, for 3 months." And she was white. She didn't give me. And then I was like, "Oh, you can't understand," But I was excited because I was getting on the plane, and I thought I would never get the food, and so I was like, my hamburgers is my favorite food, so I was like, the last ones. And now we got a fast food hamburger place. They make really great hamburgers, right down the road from my house. Fast food is there if I want it. And everybody telling me don't do videos on fast food. That stuff will kill you. Okay, I'll be dead then because of that. I do it for fast food, and You know, thank goodness I do martial arts. I'm still training today, so I hope they balance themselves out. Because I love that food. Okay, what's the last thing before we get out? Just do it. Yeah. Uh, a lot now. That's for a lot of people. They don't have self discipline. You know, I'm a martial artist. I have a lot of self discipline, so I can do. You know, I can control my. When my mind starts talking really nonsense, like I'm gonna go to sleep, don't do exercise, I gotta jump up because you know that's just. I know that's wrong. But a lot of people don't have that ability to, you know, that self discipline. So talking about just do it, what they run into is all these problems that make it even worse for them. Because you're in a battle for your mind, people. If I can say this, you're in a battle for your mind. You know, Malcolm X said it clear: you either house Negro or field Negro. Now you could be thinking you a field Negro, but you're really a house Negro. Your mind is a house Negro. You see, so you talking you know, your conscious mind is like I'm a field Negro, but your subconscious mind is deep into the house Negro part of it. So when they come to conflict, you find that you can't make the move. You see, and there goes the problem. Like the house Negro, a lot of people, black people's mind, has come forward when they have been faced with this either or, because it's an either or. Either you live and love America, or you want to get out of America, or you have a problem with America. It's only one or two. So now the people that have a problem with America, they used to riot, they used to picket, they used to, you know, demonstrate, they used to go to, you know, join the organization, you know, militant organizations. They used to go, you know, people write their congressman, they used to go vote, you know, did all that, sit in, you know, did all of that. And you look where you are, you're still there. So I submitted to you a long time ago. I stopped voting and I don't go sit in. You know, I did the militant thing, group thing, but you know, not for long. At the end of the day, it was like it's a no-brainer. It's either stay where you don't like, or you leave where you don't like. Now that's the key. So if you don't, if you can't see this one way or the other, then uh, you know, that's what it has come down today. Because I'm looking at these shows that I'm on, and I'm like, you know, they start talking about, well, you know, you know, AWS is this and this and that. And this. That's an old argument. You know, oh, the Chinese are taking over. That's an old argument. Oh, you see, Africans, blah, 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 Africans don't like it. That's an old argument. We done defeated those arguments. We done debunked all them things. You know what I mean? To the point, I'm tired. See, I'm just saying, let's start some action. And that's why I'm saying, let's build a channel with people, you know, not poor, broke people, but people that got $6, $7, you know, they can throw and support the channel and then have good things happen to them, you know. I got a brother that came here, and I made a partnership with him on the, you know, to help me with CC There are two other brothers that have now paid money into the actual business that I have started. They're investors now in that project. Now I'm not gonna get on here and start telling them to come invest with my company, because the fact of the matter is it just opened up 2 slots for them. I can't have like 15, 20 people paying in money to be part of something that I got to pay you back with dividends. No, I can only support those 2, and that's why you don't see me talking about that. You see, but they are now have a business in Africa, and I tell them all the time, when I go out and meet a white person and tell them you just invested in a business in Africa, you see the whole thing change. You see the whole look on their face change. You see, and if enough of us can say, "Look, I'm thinking about going to Africa," just say it to some white person. You know, you feel you know empowered. I don't know how it's better say that. Knowing that, you know, make sure you get a goddamn African country, because if they start quizzing you on that shit, well, what country you gonna go to? Botswana. That's wrong. You know what I mean? But they know you just then they know you're bullshit, and we don't need to have any more white people think that we're bullshit. Get you an African country, get you a passport, find you a white person that pissed you off, tell them I'm country, and they're talking really. They really say I should leave America because you people are too much. Now you know that white people be telling you should go, and go back to your country. Don't really tell them that, because they wouldn't be here without you. And in that day psyche, they know they wouldn't be here without the black people. You see, from the slave master to the manager today, they know that they've been using our talents 400 years and taking the credit away from us, and then writing in their history books that we didn't exist. You know, that comes from envy and jealousy. That comes from envy and jealousy. I'm gonna give you an example, even from my own people, because I'm with you. You know, I came up in the Black Karate Federation, and when I started, I opened up a school, you know, because of my corporate experience and my tenacity and my ability never to stop, and my thirst for learning. I grew the largest school in the Black Karate Federation's history, and they decided they had wrote the first book by Black martial artists, Mr. Steve Muhammad and Johnny Williams, and it was a good book in martial arts circles. But now it came years later, they wanted to do another one, a more elaborate one, and they got Nigel Benz to come and do to write the book. And I had talked to Nigel Ben about what I was doing in Africa with martial arts in Africa. He knew, but when he came and brought it up to them, they acted like they didn't want to put that in the book. You know, to this day, I don't know the reason because they know they're gonna keep that reason far from me. You know what I'm saying? Because they know it's a lie. I'm gonna eat right through it. But anyway, Nigel ended up calling me on the phone and telling me, "Look, man, they didn't want to put you in the book, but I'm gonna put you in anyway because they don't have that much new content in the United States. We talk about what BKF has been doing." And they say, sure enough, he put me a picture of me and my school in the book. But throughout the rest of the book, it's got people there that didn't